a flurry late today. High temperature 40. Snow showers this evening, only a dusting of snow and maybe a slick spot or two. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and 25. Back over to mostly sunny skies on Saturday. High temperature 43. Sunshine and 47 on Sunday. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
You got to listen to Jim Rome afternoons on KFH.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Chicago Bears' potential move to Indiana took another step forward Thursday. A bill was passed to establish a Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority to finance, construct, and lease a stadium for the Bears. The Bears organization has been focused on building a new stadium and also owns land in Arlington Heights, Illinois, which is another potential location. Meanwhile, the Cardinals broke ground on their new performance center and team headquarters on Thursday. The new development is expected to open in time for training camp in 2028. Elsewhere, Eagles offensive tackle Lane Johnson told the Philadelphia Inquirer that he intends to return to the team in 2026. This will be his 14th season in the league, all with the Eagles. Plus, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell and Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans are joining the NFL competition committee for 2026. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found GoodRx. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's GoodRx, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to GoodRx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. TGIF, it's Sports Daily, getting you ready for the weekend here. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleland, Max Power producing. We've got you here on KFH over the air. We've got you on our video streams. Thanks for watching on 12 News Connected, Facebook, YouTube, X. Thanks for listening on the Odyssey app. You can get in touch with the program all kinds of different ways. You can call us. You can leave us your comments on the video streams. You can leave us voice messages through the app. We're happy to have you and happy to have you be a part of the show, however it is that you'd like to be a part of the show. So thanks for being here with us. We've got a fun show today. We'll, of course, get you ready for a weekend of college hoops with different sorts of implications on the line. We'll take you through some headlines I probably missed. We'll discuss the Chiefs. There was a good piece of information put out, and now as we are reevaluating the Chiefs in the first round, I thought it was interesting to think about some of the options there. So we'll get into that as well. It's all coming to you. What's on tap today? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the seasonal release English Mild, easy to drink at only 3.4 ABV, but full of flavor to warm you up through the last of winter. English Mild available at all three WBC locations: East, West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. TJ, how are you this morning?
Jacob, it's 19 degrees outside. How do you think I am?
Cold.
We're
getting a quick reminder. Is it 19? Is it really just 19?
So my phone says.
Nice.
It's officially wearing my coat inside season because it's cold. I know we just had this, but now I already turned down the heater to a reasonable temperature, And now we're here. And now we're back. And apparently it's going to snow across Kansas today for Trace.
Maybe a little just dusting. One of those kinds of things. Maybe that'll help with the fires. Look, let's try to find the right
I was
side.
under the assumption that it was baseball season. This is not baseball season.
Well, it is in Kansas. It is February. It doesn't make me hate it any less because I despise the cold weather. I'm with you. It's college basketball season. College basketball season does mean the cold. I get that. We'll get you ready for Shocker basketball this weekend, KU basketball this weekend, K-State basketball this weekend. Shout out to Team USA women's hockey taking the gold. Sorry, Canada. Sorry about your luck. Take your syrup and go crying home. We're going to do it to the Canadian men, too. We got to get there first, though, on the men's side. That one is today, right? Yeah, that next semifinal game is today for the men. Got it. Listen, I'm an Olympics guy, but you get into those team sports like this, like hockey, like basketball, like soccer, whatever. I'm in, man. Let's go. Did you see that women's goal yesterday? Did you see that winner?
No, I didn't.
Woo! Headline.
I've been a little
broke
too
her ankles.
I've been a little too tuned out. I just can't get into the hockey stuff. I'm not a max power, but like I want to, but I just can't. I can't do it. I don't know why.
I mean, that's it for me. That's all it is. It's country versus country.
I'm in the same. I don't know why it is, but like I think it's because I'm busy probably for the most part. But I think that like whenever the World Cup rolls around, I'm going to be wearing USA across my chest every day and all that thing. And I'm not a soccer guy by any means, but I just need to
soccer.
I just need to sit down and we need to have like a refresher. Maybe I need to get an NHL team. Kansas City needs to get an NHL team, and then I'll be a hockey
I'm
fan,
with you.
Sure.
That's what I always say. Like if I could latch on, I do love.
I'm telling
hockey.
you, bring them to me. Bring an NBA team, bring an NHL team, bring a WNBA team, and I'll know every player on the roster. One, because it's our job.
Oklahoma City's pretty close. Oklahoma City's right down the road.
No, I won't.
Be closer than if Kansas City got a team.
Yeah, I won't support that state though.
Oh, okay, all right. Even though you grew up, you could throw a rock to it.
No, I could throw a rock to Missouri. It took me a good 45 minutes to get to Oklahoma.
Watch your point of pride. Would you rather live closer to Missouri or Oklahoma?
I know. I only support Missouri in the one little sliver of the Northwest up there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got college basketball to preview. That's coming. Darren Peterson, we'll get into this on the other side, starts now making national headlines, which is fun. But it creates a lot of different things to talk about, probably. The American. So go ahead, TJ.
I posted yesterday. I said, man, I think Mason Voth replied to my tweet about the Peterson stuff going super national. It was the point that I was making. I said, man, don't let anybody tell you that Kansas isn't the basketball capital of the world. The two biggest headlines of the week, K-State, KU.
That's right. People are looking for it. And
when are they going to start? When is Scott Van Pelt going to start talking about the Shockers? It's in due time.
Tell us about it. We've spent plenty of time on it. We will continue to. The American played a couple of games last night. I don't know if you saw TJ. South Florida winners, Tulane winners. You know, I go back and forth. I don't know if I think Memphis losing is good news, and South Florida winning. South Florida's got to lose twice and then into a tiebreaker.
Memphis could have helped a lot.
Honestly though, like for me, the Shockers, like the goal with 4 games left. The goal with 4 games left is finishing second. Same buys. So Memphis is sort of a contender for that. Now they're dead because they were at 5 losses.
Memphis could have beat South Florida and helped with that race, and then the Shockers still play Memphis and could have beaten them.
I get it. I totally get it, but that's a game at Memphis. It builds a little cushion for the toughest game left on their schedule. But dang
it, Jacob, is it not a good thing to win the conference?
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's what I mean. Like I had a hard time. I was watching that game last night with my son. He's like, put on a basketball game. Like, okay. It says this is about all we got, buddy. We're watching it, and he's like, who are we going for?
That's Doug McDaniel, buddy.
He's like, who are we going for? I'm like, well, it's a really good question. I said it normally it would be South Florida. I was like, I think we're going for Memphis. And we're watching, they're getting annihilated. South Florida kicked their tail. And they had a key injury in that game too. And I'm like, well, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world because, yeah, I would love for the Shockers to win to win the regular season, but I'd love more for them to win the conference tournament. South Florida still has left on their schedule Rice, Tulane, also at Memphis, and Charlotte. They really losing 2 of those games? I don't think so. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, who is in the way of the Shockers now? Best chances to get there. Memphis is one of the teams in the way. One of the many teams. Temple is too this weekend. Like, you've got to get all of them eliminated, and then I don't think Wichita State can afford to lose. We'll see what Tulsa has to say about that. But it's going to be tight down the stretch. So it's not a horrible outcome in the American for the Shockers.
We talk about our basketball watching. If you're a Shockers fan and you, especially this year, if you can get into the teams that come through Koch Arena and you watch them play the Shockers and like you can remember who they are, watching the American is one of the best college basketball watching experiences you're going to get. And I know like the Big 12 is right there, TJ. You want some real sicko basketball, flip on an American game because you have no idea who's going to win, who's going to score 30, what's going to happen. Something weird is going to happen in that game. And like last night, Memphis got their tails kicked in by South Florida. And it's like, that's Memphis, man. What's going on?
It's been a weird year. It has. I get what you're saying. It's been a fun year. I mean, it's been a fun year because
awesome. I love this. I know.
Yeah, this has been a really fun basketball year. And
it would be think
people are catching the fever a little bit.
It would be infuriating, I'm sure, if the Shockers were in like 8th or 9th place in this year, because it's like you can't go 9-5.
Yeah, no, it'd be unacceptable. So we'll see if they get into that bye. You got to win 2 games to go to the national tournament.
Then Scott Van Pelt's talking about him. Then Scott Van Pelt's talking about the Shockers. We'll go for the trifecta.
In there, everybody's favorite 12-5 upset. Get ready for it. Let's go. Let's make it happen. We're going to talk to Aaron Peterson. We're going to talk KU, though, when we come back. They got seeded out yesterday. We can hit on that, too, on a media poll. Yeah. We'll touch on that as well. It's Sports Daily on a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW. KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Thanks to Prairie Coffee for keeping us ready to go, get us loaded with caffeine, warmed up on these cold days. Thanks to Crestview Country Club. These cold days, good reminder to tell you that there's 2 great simulators. You know, everybody's been out there trying to play a little golf, TJ, and then bam, it's 30 degrees today. So we've got a couple simulators there, Crestview, that'll tickle your fancy, keep the itch scratched until we get a little better weather. So get in there, tee off on the nice cozy indoors, watch some college basketball this weekend. But one of many great features at Crestview. Give them a call. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. Coming up in the next segment, Mike Kennedy, voice of the Shockers, will join the program. Looking forward to that conversation as he gets ready for Mike Kennedy night at the Shocker game this weekend against Temple. Should be fun.
It's going to be there's going to be a who's who in the Roundhouse. We'll talk about that. Have you seen the teams they're honoring?
I have not.
1976 Missouri Valley champs, 2006 Sweet 16, Cousinar and Briard and those guys. And then 2016 Missouri Valley champs, which is Ron and Fred, right?
Yep.
Was it Fred on that
Fred,
team?
Evan, Cale Cotton. That was a big group. Zach Bush. It'll be fun. We're looking forward to that. Nobody will have a better pulse of things than Mike Kennedy. I'm curious to get his take on this season and kind of the direction things are headed in his final season at Wichita State, which is wild to even say out loud. We'll have that for you. KU in the national headlines yesterday. This was sort of predictable. This is what happens. This is how national headlines work. So it shouldn't surprise anybody. And I see a lot of what do you call them? KU sickos, TJ? I don't, the people that, sometimes are out of control on social media.
Yeah.
Complaining
this time,
that, oh, the national media hasn't watched a second of KU basketball and now everybody has an opinion. And I'm like, guys, listen, how do you think this works? You think the national pundits sit there and watch every second of everything? Of course they don't. They can't. But when you're on national television, you got everybody's attention because you shoot 6 threes in 20 minutes and then you don't play again. Everyone's like, well, what's that all about? Then they start looking a little bit and they're like, wait, this happens all the time? This is the number one pick?
That's right.
And they're gonna come up with an opinion real quick. Shouldn't surprise anybody.
Here, let me read you some pull quotes, as we say in journalism. I got some pull quotes from you. This one, if you don't know what we're talking about, if you didn't have the pulse of the national media yesterday, the most notable one that is making the rounds is none other than Stephen A. Smith, one that everybody in the world always agrees with. He sounds off on Peterson's availability this season, saying, quote, "There is no team in hell that should grab Darren Peterson at number 1 in the draft. Peterson cannot be trusted." And then Jay Williams says, "If I were a general manager, I would be extremely concerned about Darren Peterson. His talent is unquestionable. It's elite, but I don't feel like he really wants to be there." And Scott Van Pelt says, "When the presumed number 1 player in a draft sits out a home game against undefeated Arizona with the flu after having all these questions and managing minutes throughout the season with other issues, it makes people wonder, not about his talent, but about those intangibles that can't really be measured." I think the conversation has gone from the load management, because I don't think people say that anymore. I think that it's now turned into like he's got the yips is what the national media has kind of turned this into now, about like he's been hurt and now he's so scared he doesn't want to, and now he doesn't want to play.
I saw Goodman get on and say he doesn't think it's load management as much as anytime there is an issue. He's starting to say the same thing we've said forever. He's just not going to play through cramps. It's not going to happen. And at the end of the day, that hasn't really changed. We saw him try to play through a busted ankle. He didn't play through the flu. He was sick. He had his hamstring injury, which everyone swears was a legitimate hamstring injury. The one thing that has not changed is when he cramps, he comes out.
I think.
Period. That's the end of it. And so I hope that it just stays that simple.
Honestly, and this is the less of two evils, I guess, but I would rather the conversation turn away from the load management. Like that one hasn't made sense. Like it made sense when he sat out Corpus Christi and it was assumed he was going to play against Duke. That's load management. And like that was what the conversation. But I think that it's evolved so much, and it's like, why would he be load managing by only playing 18 minutes against Oklahoma State and then taking himself out of the game? Like it's hurting his stock. It's going down because of this. And like yesterday on SportsCenter, that was something that I can't remember his name. Their national college basketball reporter or whatever his name is, Sean Farnham, I think is what it is, was reporting that he reached out to scouts and they're like, yeah, it's something. Like, we're not ignoring it. Like, it's something. It's a concern. And so it's hurting him at this point. So if it was something to protect his stock or protect his value, he wouldn't play. He wouldn't have played for the last.
Now though, I see. Now we're at this weird place. This is different than it was a week or two ago, because now everyone has an opinion on it nationally, because for obvious reasons. Again, we're getting closer to March Madness. We're getting closer to the draft. We're getting closer to all of it. So people are starting to pay attention to that conversation of who's the number 1 pick and maybe the most talented freshman class we've had in a long time. It's starting to enter. So now everybody's looking for something to talk about. And Peterson gave them something to talk about when he didn't play the second half. And okay, so now everybody's going to start talking about the thing that we've locally been talking about now for 4 months. And it could, a lot can come of this, right? Either Peterson doesn't care and just continues on his way, which is probably a best case scenario. It motivates him to do something he's clearly not comfortable doing, which is, I would say, less likely, but would be great for KU. Or your point of like, nope, this isn't worth it. I've got to shut it down. which would be the worst case scenario. And there's a lot of KU fans out there right now who've been like, oh, they're better without him. They should just sit him. And that are going to find out real quick that's a bad news situation for Kansas.
This is interesting. And by the way, to finish my point earlier, if it's load management or like mental gymnastics, like I'd rather have mental gymnastics because that means that you're trying. And I think that's what we're seeing. He's tried every game. Like he's not just sitting out games. Like he's tried to play in them. And so I think that there actually is something to be said about that. I hadn't really thought about that side of it. Other point. This is an interesting thing. Mark Titus, who's the Barstool guy, who, whatever, but he had a good point yesterday and said, like, this is going to boil down to one or two things. And it's finally like what the scouts are starting to, reportedly think about. Like everybody was like, he's doing this to protect his stock. And it's like, well, what happens whenever the season finishes up and it's April and he's talking to the scouts and you do the pre-draft interviews and they're like, hey man, like what's all that about? Because they're going to ask you that question. It's like, you either have to say one, yeah, all those things I was hurt with and sick with, like that was a fluke. Like it's fine. Like, don't worry about that. Or two, like, yeah, I was just playing it really safe. I wanted to make sure that I was good for you guys. And it's like, so you didn't want to play for the team that paid you $1 million, a couple $1 million? Like that, is that not a red flag? And I think that is but I don't think it's that. I think that it's, like I'm saying, like the mental gymnastics part of it is probably where we're at in the saga. But it's, and to the point that I made yesterday is that like in the list of options that you have, KU is playing out the only option that is the best case scenario. Like, like it's either they shut down Peterson for the rest of the year. It looks bad on KU. They put him on a minutes restriction. It looks bad on KU for limiting a guy that's the first pick in the draft. And it may hurt your team if you do either of those options. It won't make you as good, I guess. Peterson shuts it down himself. Obviously not good for KU because you'll lose Darren Peterson. You keep trying every game is just kind of the middle ground where you have to sit.
Scenario. Maybe because if he keeps trying every game and he doesn't cramp, great, he plays. We've seen him not cramp in a lot of games lately. It is what it is. So the question and the concern now becomes this big national conversation. So does Peterson and do they change their minds and say, yeah, that we got too much on the line here? Like that is not worth it. Or is it one of those motivating things that's like, you know what, forget this. Like I'm going to show them. The problem is there's been plenty of reasons to do that. They can't get through the cramps. He needs to show NBA scouts he can just not have cramps too, which is a thing, right? Is he healthy? Like, can he show us he's healthy? Because we got 4 other really good looking players here that would all be number 1 picks in their own respective classes. Like, can he show us he's healthy?
It's the point that I made back in the non-conference. And now I feel like maybe it's just because it's gotten so much national. We talked about the Jerome Tang thing going national, that you may have been able to give him another year until the entire country set him on fire for the things he said after that press conference. And now you had to do something. Like the Darren Peterson thing, like it wasn't being ignored by any means, but then for it to get lit on fire yesterday, like I wouldn't be tomorrow afternoon, they're going to play Cincinnati. If he plays and he's okay, I will bet you $1,000 he is sitting at that press conference because they're like, you got to go say something. Like the PR right now is not good.
Yeah. It's to the point now though. What's he going to say? I mean, all he needs to say is, guys, when I cramp, I got to come out and
exactly
and
that's
still
the
lingers.
That's the I was listening to Carrington on 96.5 Odyssey, Kansas City.
Yeah,
he made a point yesterday I saw on social media about like taking it back to like dating terms. It's like, imagine you're the guy and Darren Peterson's the girl you're chasing after, and it's like, hey, I think this is going to be great. Let's go on a date on Friday night. And they're like, okay, let's do it. And then Darren Peterson is like, well, actually something came up. I'm sorry. I can't make it. It's like, whatever, that happens. It's okay. And then you do it again next week. And then it happens again. And then it happens again. And it's like, well, maybe there's not as much, working together on this as, what they're made. But it's like, but imagine in this hypothetical, this was my pushback on what he said that I wanted to say this morning is like, what if Darren Peterson in that case, what if the girl in this scenario like came up out front and was just like, hey, like, I've got this going on. I'm dealing with this. So there may be some troubles, but I'm going to try. Like, And that's the point. That's the part that we're missing. Like, we just need somebody to say that. And that's what we've been saying since the non-conference. And Bill Self kind of did.
I guess somebody besides Bill Self, because he's been saying that for 5 months.
I agree with that 100%. And I think that, like, the fact that he said it last week about the reference load management, I think that carried a lot of weight because people aren't talking about that as much. I think that Darren Peterson needs to go up there whenever he's up there next and get asked the question of, like, hey, there's a lot of speculation that you're doing this just to protect your draft stock. Is there any weight to that? And maybe he has been asked that and I missed it, but, like, him saying no, it has to be worth something, whether you believe him or not. It's on the record. Like, that's just what is missing.
I don't think that people are worried about that. I think people are worried that he's soft is the word that everyone likes to use. He's soft. He's soft. He's soft.
I mean? Like,
okay,
he needs to.
That's fine.
If you want to change the narrative,
there's only one way to change that narrative, and that's to play through it. But he's not going to play through it. He's not going to, unless he does something again different than he's done all season long. He's not going to. So, like, I'm sitting here like, is this conversation going to get out of control to the point where he says this is too risky? Like, I can't risk what I have in the future on this. I mean, one thing's pretty clear, and I know this hurts people's feelings. He cares more about the NBA than he cares about being a college basketball player. Okay, like, some guys don't feel that way. I think he pretty clearly does, and that's fine. Again, what are you as a fan wanting at this point out of Darren Peterson? Like, you can continue to have the same conversation and get the same angry every time. What do you think they're going to do without his ability to make shots for this team? Because to me, it's just like, just take what you can get, enjoy the rest of this team, and see what kind of run you can make. I don't know what else to like. I don't know what other emotions to even spend on it. Nothing has changed. We are having the same conversation. When he cramps, he comes out, he does not return. Nobody knows when it's coming. Nobody. He doesn't. There are some games he plays 35 minutes. There are going to be some games he plays 20. It's going to come when they don't want it to. Bill Self's point, it is a concern because they don't know when it's coming, and if that happens in a big time game, what are they supposed to do? But he's just being honest. He's just being honest with it. Yeah, of course it's a concern.
Yeah, and we talked about this yesterday, but, like, now as it's gaining more traction, I don't think that changes anything for KU, but I didn't really think about it this way. Like, if it's a concern, like, what do you do when it's a month from now? What if it's the Big 12 tournament and it happens and he has to take himself out and you lose in the Big 12 tournament and you're staring Selection Sunday in the face, and what if it happens every game for the remaining 5?
What if you do if you're who?
KU.
Kansas?
Yes.
Bill Self?
Do you roll the dice?
You do what I've been saying for since the early part of the season. You learn how to be good both with and without him, which they have shown us they can do. Lots of.
I agree.
Against Oklahoma State. I will say it a million times. Darren Peterson leaving the game is not why Oklahoma State was able to come back in that game. It's because they gave up 40 points in the second half.
I agree.
Bill Self after the game said they were tougher than we were today.
I think that's also a part that the national media isn't paying attention to, is the fact that the rest of the team is really good. And the fact that the other guys beat Arizona without him.
Right.
And so it's like, I don't know. Like, is that something that if it's a concern, is it a big enough concern?
Right now, the national media right now is not concerned about college basketball.
Correct.
Every conversation they're going to have is about him potentially being the number 1 pick. The national media, those guys you hear from, Stephen A. Smith doesn't watch college basketball. Correct. He's an NBA guy. Like these conversations are NBA conversations. So, like, to watch that as a college basketball fan, you're not getting and consuming. Now, if you watch like a college basketball studio show, Scott Van Pelt obviously follows a lot of college basketball games. His take was what you just said, talked about beating Arizona without it. Like, you gotta think about who you're hearing from here and say, okay, well, yeah, they're talking about him as the number 1 pick. Like, they're not talking about what he's done in college. They don't really care what he does in college outside of how it does or doesn't help him be the number 1 pick. So they haven't watched any Kansas basketball this year. Kansas just has to be ready for it to happen. And how can they be the best they can be when it does? Because it's almost certainly going to. Now, my concern today, the different concern I have now today is there going to be too much national pressure and he doesn't want to do this anymore? That's my concern, because I don't think Kansas is good enough without him.
This isn't so much national media, but it's something. We've talked a lot about the account That Guy Rocked on social media going around, where they post obscure college basketball guys that everybody loved, like Ron Baker, Jacob Pullen, things of that nature. Somebody made a counterpart and made the account That Guy Sucked, and it's the Grayson Allens and the Aaron Crafts, and Darren Peterson's already on there. Is Darren Peterson a villain already?
No, but he could be.
I know.
If he wants to be. He'd be a great one.
I know. If he could, that's the thing. Like, he comes back. Everybody keeps talking about Remy Martin and the situation with Remy Martin, like where the song and dance kind of went through Remy Martin not playing games, and then he was awesome in March Madness. Like, there's a chance that, and that might infuriate fans more, that it comes in March Madness and not the entire season before that. But that's KU fans. They'll find something.
He could break a lot of hearts.
But he could come out and just kind of like sit out in the game and, kind of and then get to like the Sweet 16 and get like Tennessee and score 50 points.
He sure could. It'd be awesome. It's a possibility that's out there.
Everybody up.
Oh yeah. It would take,
if he does it, if he does it one time, and I've been saying it since November, if he could have done it in any of these Big 12 games, if he could have gone out against BYU like he was on pace to do, played 40 minutes and scored 45 points.
If he did it against Oklahoma State, he was on pace for it.
Anybody, literally any of the Big 12 teams, like everybody's good enough that it would, like if it was whatever.
You're right. He's looked the best against BYU because it was showing all parts of his game. Oklahoma State, he was just showing that, like,
I'm just saying, like,
shooter.
If you want to shut everybody up, if it's truly something like you're tired of this PR look, the one thing you can do is just show them that you're the best player in the country.
In the meantime, KU continue to play well without it. Mike Kennedy joins the show next. Don't go away. More Sports Daily.
This is Sports Radio KF.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody, here to Sports Daily. Glad to have you with us here on this Friday. If you want to win a cool package here, Taco Bell hooking you up with everything you need for the ultimate college hoops road trip. One winner scores a $700 StubHub gift card to pick the game or event they want to go to, $500 to cover their hotel stay, $50 gas card to get them there. Just text the keyword TACO to the number 20357 for your chance to win. Message and data rates apply. Must be 18 or older to enter. Full rules at kfhradio.com. Today's the last day to enter that, by the way, so good luck, everybody. DJ, we come back. Mike Kennedy's with us. Mike? As we bring you in here, we're gonna bring you in here hot. Voice of the Shockers, 46 years, 1980. Any of this settling in for you, Mike? There's still plenty of season left, but what is the journey of this season been like? Has it been any different yet?
A little bit. I have an awareness that it's the last time around, and so. I'm always prepared. I'm always locked into any game, but I don't know. I feel like this year I'm even a little more focused on what it sounds like and all of that. I really want it to be good. I really want to be totally attentive to everything that's going on. So I feel like I've been a little more aware. A certain amount of it, you do it this long, it's kind of like riding a bicycle, but I almost feel like this year I'm a little more aware of everything I'm saying and so forth.
Mike, on Saturday night, I know obviously they're going to talk about you, which I'm sure that you don't want them to because the guy that you are, but I think it's awesome that it's in part of the Champions Weekend and the guys that are coming back to, Koch Arena to celebrate that 2006 team, that 2016 team, because you got a lot of memories with all those guys, I'm sure.
I do. The 75-76 team, I began my association with Wichita State the following year. And for the next 4 years, I worked for Cake, radio and TV. I did play-by-play of the games on radio when they were televised, and that was, 8 to 10 games a year. But I got back to Wichita to work for the Wichita Arrows in January of 76. So I did see that 75, 76 team play several times. And then the next year got to know the returning guys like Cheese Johnson and Steve Kalasinski pretty well. So even though I didn't really broadcast that team that year, I know a lot of those guys. And then, yeah, of course, 05, 06 and 15, 16 were teams that I was very directly associated with and have great relationships with those guys.
This year, Mike, has been an interesting one. It feels, and I love to get your take on this because I think you probably have better perspective on this than anybody. We've been waiting for a little while now for the Shockers to sort of recapture some of that energy, that true Shocker energy that we've seen in variations over the years. This one feels like it's maybe gaining a little steam to that, to me. That it feels like there's a buzz being created by this group. Are you getting that same sentiment?
I am. And I'll be honest, I mean, there have been times this year when I started to feel like, I don't know if this team's ever going to get there. The DePaul loss, really even Western Kentucky and the Bahamas, the DePaul loss, the FAU loss, the second half again at Tulsa, the second half here with South Florida. I mean, there have been some of those where you think, okay, they've made some strides, but now they're stepping backward. But overall, the composite is that this team has actually continued to get better. They've learned from some of those setbacks. And I think part of it is we may all underestimate just how much more difficult it is in this era when you've got a brand new team every year to not only see that improvement individually, but maybe more so collectively, where they're all getting used to each other, understanding each other, knowing where everybody's supposed to be. And I think we're starting to see that come together. The positive is that this is a great group of guys who've been very coachable, very receptive to what they need to do. They like each other. It's been a really good group to be around.
Obviously there's a lot of comparison to eras of Wichita State basketball because there's been such, heavy hitters. I don't think it's fair to compare to the Marshall era because he kind of came in, hit the ground running from where Turgeon had it. I'm kind of curious in your comparison, in your brains that you saw him up close. Like, does this kind of feel like where it was with Turgeon, like ramping up, and it feels like there may be a spark like there was back in the Turgeon?
And his his first year, he had a losing season. Marshall's first year, remember, they lost 20 games. Matt Breyer got hurt, and they didn't really have a point guard after that. So there was a little bit of a slow start with both of them. And, of course, the biggest difference was that both of them had groups of guys that were there for the long haul. Mark Turgeon's first real recruiting class, his second year, was Paul Miller, Jamar Howard, Rob Campman, Randy Burns, and that turned into a veteran group that just kept improving. And the same way with Greg Marshall, he started to get those guys in that ended up being standouts. So that's the biggest difference, I think, is that back then you were able to build within your program, create a culture, and so. But yeah, I think this team. Guys still come here. This is interesting. Guys still come here because of what they know about Wichita State crowds. And these guys, the last couple of games, have started to get to feel that and really understand that. And they're loving it. They're excited. I think that the last two home games will be, pretty exciting in terms of the atmosphere.
I think so, too. I know you've probably been asked this 800 times or more this year, Mike. But as you look back at some of those atmospheres, maybe a little different spin on your favorite. What has been your favorite team just to call? Maybe it doesn't have to be your favorite team, personal relationships, anything like that, but just the strictly on the call, doing play-by-play. Which team was your favorite to just get out there and call one of their games?
I honestly don't think I can do that. I don't think I can name one. 80-81 will always be special because that was my first full year. And I mean, you got Carr and Livingston and, a team that went to the Elite Eight. And so we probably got a little spoiled that year, Dave and I. I mean, all the games we experienced, the back-to-back games with Iowa and KU and all that. So certainly that would be high on the list. the honestly, the 84-85 team with Xavier McDaniel and Aubrey Sherrod kind of came on late, got to the NCAA tournament. That team, that was a fun team to be part of. And then, several of the Marshall teams and the 05-06 team that's coming back. Mark Turgeon led that team to the Sweet 16. So there have been several. I'll tell you the one that was the most amazing in some ways, the 13-14 team that went undefeated until losing to Kentucky in the second round of the NCAA. And that's the strangest feeling I've ever had at the end of a season. They lose one game, and we're coming back home from St. Louis, and I'm going, that's it? How can that be it? They lose one game and the season's over? It was just an incredibly strange feeling that year.
I can't imagine. We'll ask you this, Mike, because I don't know how many times we'll get to talk to you before you're officially the retired voice of the Shockers. When Paul Mills took the job, one thing that has always stuck with me is that he said that it's a sleeping giant, and like if you can get the spark back, like the things that you can do at Wichita State are unmatched of anything else you can do in the country with the no football and the fan support and the building that they've got and the history. Like, everything's changed in college athletics from where it was in 1980. I'm sure it's changed a lot, but is it possible still?
Wow. Good question. I have to think so. I mean, I have to believe that it is, but I can tell you where it's going to be the toughest more than anything else now with and this, everybody hopes it may change, but I don't see that it will, is the NIL thing. And Wichita State has continued to improve its NIL fund. I think this is the most talented team that Paul Mills has had. But I think where they're still going to have a challenge is you bring somebody in that wasn't that well known, wasn't highly regarded, and you develop them, and all of a sudden they're this really good player, whether or not Wichita State's going to be able to keep them. When you get some of the Power Fours coming at them with just crazy money, over $2 million in some cases or whatever, I don't know if Wichita State's going to be at a point ever where they can counter that. So it's going to be players that maybe will turn down some of that because they like it so much here and will stay. I don't know. I mean, that's going to be the hard part. I think that certainly with the support here, you can get players to come here. It's just going to be a matter of keeping them maybe sometimes before more than 1 year.
It's been a fun group, though, to watch. And when we sit here and we think about some of these young guys, I mean, there's a couple of the key players that won't be able to come back. But, man, if they could just – I mean, you can see it, can't you? Like, if they could just get a couple of these guys, 2-3 of them, to stick around into next year, this could be that building block we've been waiting for. I mean, we say it all the time, Mike. Like, Wichita State is positioned in the American. We've seen this fan base step up to make Greg Marshall a top 5 paid coach in the country. They have gone out and had some major recruiting wins. It's there. Like there's no reason Memphis should thrive like they have in this environment. Wichita State can't if they can just get over that initial hump. That's what's so exciting to me. Maybe they're getting to that point to get everybody fired up again.
Well, and I think that's a real key is what's happening right now, the way the crowds have increased. And I think, I think these last 2 home games will be very well attended. And so they have something again that they can show future recruits that they really haven't had for a few years. And so I think that will be a factor, certainly. The success that they're having, if they can continue that, I have to think will probably encourage a few more people to get on board with the NIL, even though most people hate it. I think more and more people understand how important it is. So, I mean, I think all of those things are coming together, and as much as you don't want it to be all about that, winning is the big factor in everything, and they are winning, and people are getting excited about it, and this is a fun team to watch too. I mean, it's not a boring brand of basketball, and so I think all of that plays into what's still possible.
Mike, we got about a minute and a half left. I don't know how I haven't asked you this question yet. Wednesday night, was your heart beating pretty hard on that one? They were down by 4 with 10 seconds left and won the game.
I've done a lot of games, had a lot of experiences. In 46 years, I don't think there's ever been one quite like that was so improbable, almost impossible situations at both the end of regulation and again at the end of the first overtime. I mean, you're down to 5 seconds left. They've got the ball. There's almost no chance.
That one's crazier than the 4-point
Almost
play,
no
I think.
chance. And Noah Hill, who was one of those guys, if they can keep him, could be a tremendous player down the road. But he put him in for his athleticism and quickness, and he got a piece of that inbounds pass, deflected it, which led to Kenyon Giles picking it up and scoring to tie it again. So Noah Hill played 5 seconds, had nothing that goes on a stat sheet, but made one of the biggest plays of the game. Yeah,
Mike,
it was crazy.
It's been an honor to be able to coattail the ride with you for a part of this career. We've got you. We know it's a lot about basketball. We've got you through baseball as well. Enjoy Mike Kennedy night on Saturday. You've earned it, and it should be a blast.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
There goes Mike Kennedy, voice of the Shockers. Only get those golden pipes a few more times. Enjoy them. We will. It's been an enjoyable season. That is for sure. All right, we're coming back. We got another hour of Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Cannot face this. Wait a minute. It's Friday. I forgot. It's Friday. It's Friday. Friday.
Today is Friday.
You've waited all week. You've been waiting. Monday. You got through it Tuesday. You got through it Wednesday. You started to smell it. Thursday. You were right on top of it. And now it's here. It's Friday. It's time to rock and roll. Whoa.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Appreciate that energy, Max. Happy Friday, everybody. TGIF, thanks to Mike Kennedy, voice of the Shockers, for joining us. 46 years. This is his last year on the call, and they are giving him a good one. Shockers play this weekend. Mike Kennedy night. Get out there to the game. We always appreciate Mike. It's going to be weird. You get somebody for as long as this community's had Mike on the Shockers call. It's crazy. We appreciate him stopping by. Shout out to his son, Sean, former producer of this show. Do you know that, TJ? When I kind of joined in the show, Sean was either the first or the second producer of Sports Daily pretty consistently, which was always fun. To have him in there. Big NASCAR guy. Was always my NASCAR lifeline. We used to pick NASCAR races every week. That feels like a long time ago. But we love Mike Kennedy. Thank you for being here, Mike. And good luck this weekend on the call. We got a big hour for you coming up. We'll start to preview some of these games. I want to talk Chiefs a little bit too. This Rashee Rice situation is making the draft a little more interesting from a football perspective. So we want to dig into that a little bit. And then we've got a look ahead to all 3 of the weekend games, Wichita State, KU, K-State. All interesting for albeit very different reasons in some cases, but we'll get into all of it here in this hour. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the Dub event venue at WBC Delano. Perfect for graduation parties, meetings, reunions. Visit wichitabrew.com to begin your booking at the Dub event venue at WBC Delano, where groups gather. Thanks for joining us on the air here, KFH. Thanks for being with us on our video streams. No, that's looked a little different on X. We're still working on that, but Facebook, YouTube, X, always available as normal. You can leave us comments there. Of course, 12 News Connected. Appreciate all our great watchers, viewers there, and our listeners through the Odyssey app, even if it's from the future. If you're podcasting us out, did you know that you can podcast this show? Just go to the Odyssey app, and it's right there for you. You can listen to this as a podcast as you're driving, maybe making that long trip. We appreciate everybody. All the different ways they take us in. And TJ, now everybody's favorite segment, the one that's not the most endearing.
Play it, Max.
The headline.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, let's start in the Olympics, Jacob. Yesterday, the big headline coming out that is now just destroying social media. Alyssa Liu, figure skating champion, gets the gold for the U.S. Did you know she was in Wichita last year for the U.S. figure skating champions?
That one I did know. Alyssa Liu. It's been a long time, right, since we've had women's gold?
I think so. I don't know how long, but it's been a long
24
time.
years. 24 years. Verified. 24 years. Yes, I did know that one. I did know she was here as part of that great event. Shout out to Visit Wichita for bringing that in. Of course, there was tragedy involved in it too, but there was a lot of good that came out of it. And Alyssa Liu is a champion. Pretty cool moment.
There you go. It's true. That's what they touted it up as. You're going to watch people that are going to go to the Olympics, and you got to see a gold medal winner in Intrust Bank Arena. All right, to the NFL we go. The Los Angeles Rams. This comes out about an hour ago. Nate Scheelhaas, the guy that was, is that how you say it? Is that how you say that name? I don't know how to say it.
Scheelhaas?
Scheelhaas? Yeah, sorry. Kansas City native, I believe, was talking about a lot of head coaching jobs. Kind of a no-brainer here, but he got promoted to offensive coordinator of the Rams because he was the quarterbacks coach, I believe. So
I didn't see that one. I also did not know he's from Davenport, Iowa on a quick search.
Unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he went to high school at Rockhurst. I think.
Rockhurst High School. Yes. From Davenport, Iowa, but went to Rockhurst High School. That is correct.
There you go. All right, let's keep moving here. To the American. Talked about that South Florida Memphis game. Did you see what transpired afterwards?
I did not.
Penny Hardaway at a conference. Let me find the quote before I say something here. Got asked about all the emotion that he showed in the game, because apparently he showed a lot of emotion in the game. And he was brought to tears at the press conference and said, I wanted that game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted that game. And had to hold back tears at the press conference.
I wonder why that game in particular.
I'd say it's the culmination because it's been not good.
Well, they were never close. They got smoked pretty wire to wire in that game.
That was just the one to be like, listen, guys, like we're still good enough to beat anybody in this conference, and then to go get smoked like that is not it.
I think their real good center got hurt too in that game. I saw him coming off the floor holding his wrist.
What's your thought? What's your thoughts on the Penny situation?
I think Memphis is probably lucky to have him. I got
a soft spot for Penny, regardless of
Penny, the player and the
I'm talking
player and the personality. Hell yeah!
But I think it's good for the American that Penny's the head coach.
It's good because Memphis can recruit like crazy with him. But that's a great look. They put 10,000 people in that arena. That is a great basketball school. It's a great job, which is why he's probably feeling some hot seat because it's going to be a great job without him. If that's the direction they went. I'll tell you what I love about Penny as that coach is he leaned into a Wichita rivalry pretty hard. And that's been good for the league. It's been good for Wichita State. It's been good for the league. Like he is one of the reasons that is the game that Shocker fans get excited about because he's leaned into how much he doesn't like playing in Wichita and all those different things. Like he has, and that's good. Like I like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love Penny as a coach of Memphis, but they've had some teams that probably should have done a little better. So I get the heat.
I know he's had his shortcomings as a coach. Like he could recruit like nobody else, but sometimes it doesn't translate into wins on the court.
Great ambassador for that school. Love the fit.
I'll always root for Memphis just because whenever Memphis and Wichita State are both good, that's awesome. Like that is a good rivalry until they leave the American, and then I probably will stop rooting for Memphis whenever that day comes. All right, sticking in the coaching headlines. I know you know this one, but I'm not going to go a show without talking about it. There's a new name to follow in the K-State coaching world. You aware what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Meta World Peace. Ron Artest. I can't remember what he actually officially changed his name to now. I guess I should probably look that up. Once his name was Panda's Friend, if you remember. But yeah, Ron Artest tweets out yesterday. Meta Sandiford Artest. He put the Artest back. Matt, that's his name now. He tweeted yesterday, Kansas State head coach job is one I think is very interesting for me. I'm so excited about the progress I've made into developing into a no-brainer head coach. Ron Artest, folks, wants the K-State job.
Well, listen, he can't have it. I'm glad he wants it. I'd like it. Can I have it? Can I put my name in the hat? Because that's about how that feels.
I can't believe this tweet. I can't believe the tweet that I sent you hasn't gone viral yet. from Nathaniel. It only has 42 likes, but it's the best thing that ever said.
In the running for tweet of the year so far.
It said, you saw Jerome Tang get in the bleachers and you got all nostalgic. Yeah. And how does that not have 10,000 retweets on it already? Like, it's the greatest thing that I've seen.
Comment on his tweet though. Do those kinds of things get viral? Like,
if you get a good one, because I don't think
I'm not sure that I have spent enough time looking at the comments of somebody else's tweets to find that stuff. I don't think I have. Maybe if somebody said, but yeah, I would. I don't know that. Well, it was though. It's in the running for me for tweet of the year. It's just brilliant stuff. Man. Again, I say it all the time. Twitter is the haven for smartassery at its best, and that is peak content.
What if we get whatever their next home game is? TCU comes to Bramlage and Ron Artest is sitting courtside doing some scouting. Like, God, it'd be awesome. I want that to have some sort of like.
You do not want Ron Artest to be the coach of K.
I don't want him to be the coach, but I want the storyline to continue further than one tweet. Like, I want him to pursue this heavily. Like, I want it to.
It feels like, and look, I don't know. I haven't followed Meta Artest. I haven't followed him in a long time. I think he's gotten things turned around. So I'm not, but it feels like when Antonio Brown randomly comes off the top rope to chime in on something, we're like, wait, I'm sorry, what? Like you're interested. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, maybe if the Colin Klein stuff didn't progress so fast, we could have had Antonio Brown on the K-State job.
Yeah. Yeah. File that away. All right. That was one that got some legs yesterday. I did see that one.
That's all I got from you. All the rest of the headlines we saw.
There it is. Headlines are probably missed.
They're all Darren Peterson and Jerome Tang. It all
he did steal the headlines. He did steal the headlines. I said X is its best when it's a haven for smartassery, and I believe that. It may be at its worst when it's grandstanding. I don't need one more person to point out to me that a lot of the people having opinions on Darren Peterson have not watched a lot of
especially
Kansas basketball.
I
don't need that commentary.
In our profession, especially the TV side of it, radio, it's kind of your job to have takes on things, I guess. But in the TV world where you're a journalist, the people that feel the need to say, like, here's my 2 cents on the Darren Peterson situation. It's like, great, man. Cool. I couldn't go without knowing that. Like, I got it.
Yeah. And it happens all the time. I like yesterday, everybody people, do you think people are going to notice if you don't jump on there and point out that these guys haven't even watched a lot of Darren Peterson? Okay, cool. They're doing their job. That's what they get paid to do. And I know this format's a little different, but again, this job pays the bills. My posts on X don't pay jack. You know what?
Guess what?
So
Guess what? Guess what?
You can come right here.
Guess what, Joe Schmo at home? We don't care. Like, have your opinions, but you don't have to put them every time. Like, it's fine.
All right, we're coming back. Let's talk Chiefs when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
$12:40.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on this Friday. You've got more Shocker baseball tonight, 10:15 out in Hawaii. You ready for that? You ready for that midnight Shocker baseball? They lost last night, 7-6.
I heard it was a rough seventh inning.
6-7.
I got a headline that I missed.
Oh, okay.
It's not really a headline, but I didn't know this. Some K-State fan tweeted yesterday that they were checking out the K-State rodeo team. Were you aware that Willie has a rodeo outfit?
No, I was not.
He does.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Boot
I don't
cut.
hate it. Everybody
jeans. Still has tape on the fingers like a football player, though.
Everybody, they have a great livestock judging program, and everyone likes to
crop judging.
They're like, oh, blah blah blah. They're good, and I'm like, guys, that's my life. Like, I grew up in stock shows. And
somebody
all my
said
nieces and nephews. I have like 3 nieces and nephews who've been put through college either through livestock judging or rodeo.
We got Britton Rucker in that newsroom. She knows all about the crop judging. Somebody said
now,
that
crop judging, I don't know.
That's the one where they're the national champions all the time. But somebody said Gene Taylor needs to hire the crop judging coach because they win natties.
I don't know the crops. We know the animals, not the crops.
Did you do the stuff where you looked at the cuts of meat and looked at the ribeyes?
No, live animals only for me. So I wasn't like, I wouldn't say I was passionate about it, but I did it. Yeah. I showed sheep. We weren't in that world yet. I have 4 older brothers, and one of them, they're all, one's 4 years, but they're quite a bit older than I am. And so like one of those brothers and I would we did it. And it was, it was kind of a combination effort, and we'd show sheep forever, but it wasn't that big a deal. They all evolved once they all started having kids. Man, now they're it's like a big pig operation, and like it's nuts.
County fair people. Is that what we're talking here?
County fair, state fair. I've had a nephew win the Fort Worth show, which is a big deal. I think one of them's won like San Antonio. It's a big show.
I was wearing my coat at the start of the show at the Cleveland Cattle Company. I did not do any of that though.
Yeah. So I wasn't super passionate about it. Like I rode horses, we worked cattle, like all those things, but I was the kid, in tennis shoes on a horse, but like I did all that stuff. It was never my passion or anything like that, but I did it because it was the job that needed to be done.
I was a cowboy for 1 year of my childhood. I thought that was my life. And then I grew up and I got to like 5th grade. I'm like, I'm going to turn the boots in. I think I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of waking up to feed the horses. It's not fun.
A bunch of them still do it. And that's their livelihood now. And they all but put through college showing animals and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, I think it's awesome that K-State's good at it. All right. So this was really good stuff yesterday. Sean Newkirk, who I think just, tweets about stuff, put this out there. And we've had this conversation a couple of times with the Chiefs and their decision-making at 9. It's a really interesting strategy that they have to now think about with 3 pretty clear needs, and different than what we were probably when the last time we talked about this Monday. Now the Rashee Rice situation is out there. And so I don't think they need to use the pick on receiver. That's totally changed now. And I think wide receiver is absolutely on the table.
I think it's interesting though, because like if there's something to the Rice thing, and if it were to happen, like, do you think that would affect this season?
Sure. It could. It could, but he's going into a free agent year too. I think
the bigger conversation, even if the headline of Rashee Rice doesn't come out, like I think it still potentially could be a conversation of if they were going to pay him or not. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's what yes, absolutely. So whether it becomes an issue of he is in trouble this year, whether it becomes an issue of he doesn't, but he's really expensive next year, or he doesn't get in trouble and they're done dealing with him because of, now repeated just things that are a distraction. Either way, they could very quickly find themselves in need of a number 1 wide receiver. So yeah, I think it's something that we got to start thinking about. It wasn't that long ago where you would have thought of Rashee Rice because he's had this connection with Patrick Mahomes as a contract, a guy who's going to get a contract. But I don't know that we can think about that way anymore. And if he's not, then you probably start needing to think about wide receivers. So here's where Sean Newkirk did the Lord's work for us. He went and he took the average. So let me lay this out there for you of what we'll be talking about here. He took the average of, it was Pro Football Focus and Over the Cap, 2 sites that, project out what free agents are going to make. He took the average for those guys of, it looks like the top 5 projected at each position, at running back, at wide receiver, at edge rusher, the 3 things the Chiefs probably are going to be the most in the need for with that early pick. So he took that and then he put it up against what guys drafted in that slot would be also projected to make. Does that make sense? So if you like whoever it is at 9, what they're projected to make at that draft slot, and then all the top free agents at each position and what they're projected to make, to set up sort of a scenario that the Chiefs now on February 20th are probably thinking about. What is the best way to attack this? So there's the preface of it. Ken Walker, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne. Those are the three highest projected paid running backs, or almost certain to be. They're all right around 10 million. Ken Walker, they've got an average projection of 9.5. Breece Hall, 11.5. Travis Etienne, about 10.5. So we'll call it an average of 10. Okay, so 10 years, 10 per 3 years. That's running back. Jeremiah Love would be just under that, but at 4 years, fully guaranteed at 8. Okay. Then we go to edge rusher. They use Ruben Bain. Doesn't really matter who it is, but let's say it's edge rusher there. Same thing. 4 years, 8 per. Those top free agents, Trey Hendrickson, Owa, and Phillips, 23 million, 18 million, 20 million. The edge rushers are twice as expensive as the running backs. Okay, then you go to wide receiver, and it's even worse, Chiefs fans. You know what George Pickens would make on the open market? 27.5 per.
For how many?
27.5.
For how many years?
Alec Pierce. They have it at, for some reason, at 2.5. Oh, because he took the average. One has it on a long contract.
I got you.
Contract. There, George Pickens. There's a big variety on Pickens. What Cap would have him at a $138 million contract. PFF has him on like a 1 year, and I'm assuming that's because of a franchise tag at about 30 million. So either way, it's really expensive. Alec Pierce's market right now, and they are in agreement on this, TJ, is $24.5 million per year for 4 years. So team draft a wide, and by the way, no matter who the wide receiver is, it's the same thing, right? 4 years, $8 million per. The value proposition is at wide receiver. It's as expensive. Now, edge rushers are really expensive too, right? Like at the very top, they're the most expensive. But right now in football, the trend is to pay wide receivers, and not even that good of wide receivers, a ton of money. If nothing else, it kind of gives you a gauge on what Rice, even if he doesn't get in trouble, cost on the open market. I really am warming to the idea of Breece Hall. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like Breece Hall makes all the sense in the world. Jeremiah, you better love Jeremiah Love, because the reality is the best value proposition is not taking the running back there.
It's true.
If you take the running back there, he immediately becomes one of the highest paid running backs in the NFL.
Yeah. It's just so basically that pick doesn't matter position. It's not like it's just based on pick.
I don't think so. I think it's a slotted.
That's what it looks like it is on these charts that you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I think that at this point, knowing all of this information, like, I think that, like, I don't know. I think you'd pick Love if you, like, really think that these next 4 years are windows where you are going to change what you do. And it could also be that if you got a free, if you got Breece Hall, because we talk about Breece Hall's
a year and a half older than Jeremiah Love,
something like that. So that's the thing about that, is that you'd get that's the benefit of getting Jeremiah Love, is that you get the extra year that you probably won't get for a lot of guys. Like, you'll get the 4-year contract in the running back prime, or these 4 years. And that's why you do it. But I don't think I'm pro receiver though. Like, I would almost rather take the defensive.
I'm fine. Look, whichever, again, BPA. You just take the better player. But
if it's a real, like, game changer receiver they don't have the chance to get typically, then it's something to think about, because I don't know if, like, that's the thing to me, is that if you took the defensive guy first and then punted the receiver to the second, that second round receiver is not going to be near the first round receiver. But the defensive end, I feel like, can be, like, I've seen mocks where it's what is it, Mezzanine, the Miami guy, like, he's fallen to the second in mocks. Like, I don't think he's that far below what Bain was.
Well, you can also, I think if it's Tate or Tyson, I could see either one of those guys as game-changing wide receivers. At defensive end, it feels a little more risky in the sense that you could miss on a player there. But again, if you love the player, it's been a need for so long for Kansas City. Now, what about this scenario? And I laid this out in jest in one of our text threads yesterday, but I'm not totally against it. Rashee Rice, clears this legal situation and whatever. We're just hypotheticals. Do you think about trading Rashee Rice?
I mean,
with Mahomes coming back off an injury? Like, what about the scenario of sign Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker? Breece Hall is a selfish thing, so understand that as we have these conversations. We just want this to happen because he's the local guy. Kenneth Walker also feels like a pretty good fit because he's an explosive runner. He can break them off, which would change the Chiefs' offense a little bit. I do think Breece Hall's a better player. Breece Hall's a more well-rounded player. I think Breece Hall's better. But either way. So you've got that. Now okay, we've got this line. We've got Breece Hall. We're committed. You think about trading Rashee Rice? Let's say Kelsey comes back.
The hard part about that now.
Rice, and now because what could you get for Rashee Rice?
I don't know, but it's
that
like
you could get if he doesn't have any legal concern.
But that's the thing is that like
you get a first for him.
We're sitting here talking about
you trade a first for him.
Listen to me. I feel like the Chiefs are talking like we literally just said 15 minutes ago that do the Chiefs want to put up with this? They want to pay to put up with this. Like, who wants to trade a first to put up with it?
They just they traded Tyreek Hill and got a Hall.
Well, yeah. Is Rashee Rice Tyreek Hill?
He's pretty damn good.
He's not Tyreek Hill.
He's not Tyreek Hill. But and I'm not suggesting they would get the same kind of return they got for Tyreek Hill, but they could get a lot for Rashee Rice. They could get a second and a third.
I don't know. I mean, if somebody's going to offer you a first, then yeah,
I would think they would. Well, a first is fine, but even if it's a second and a third, you're going to lose him probably. Or now, listen, there is very much a scenario where he clears this and he does have such a connection with Mahomes that they give him the money too. Like that's absolutely on the table. This Rice thing now has opened this up. But even if they did that, paying running backs that money there doesn't make a lot. Again, you better love Jeremiah Love to already pay him essentially the same thing Breece Hall's about to make.
It's true.
And so even if regardless of what happens at receiver, I do love Tate and I do love Tyson, but regardless of whatever happens at receiver, even if it's defensive end, hell, if it's the top corner on the market,
are they going to trade Trent McDuffie?
They could. I've
seen a lot of people talk about trading Trent McDuffie.
I'd rather see him play. It depends on what you're going to take there. Now McDuffie gets you at first.
Yes, that's why you do it.
Yeah, and if you don't think, again, you got to project out. If you don't think you're going to sign him, then yeah, sure, put it on the table. Who cares, right? But if you think you're going to sign him, you obviously don't do that because he's great. I would be interested in that. Either way, the whole point of this is I'm coming around hard to signing one of these running backs. The other thing is you can always take a running back in the second or third. And then they really don't cost you anything. My point is I am such a firm believer that at least next year, they really need to reinvent a little bit and lean into that running game for Mahomes' sake, if nothing else. But it's more than Mahomes' sake for me, TJ. They have spent so much money on that line. Let the line eat. Like you've invested all these resources in the line. Let it be awesome.
I'll say this is that I'm fine without if they don't draft Jeremiah Love, it's fine. But I think that it's either Jeremiah Love or Breece Hall or Walker or a free agent. Like I don't think that that's a viable option to punt to round 2 to have your starting running back. And the round 2 running back is going to be awesome still. It's pick 40
maybe.
or whatever.
I don't know. I don't think this class of running backs is a deep
But that's the thing. Like if you,
which means
with
what?
the way that it's trending that we're talking about, and it seems like it's a trend at least that it would make sense that they would do this next year. They brought DeMarco Murray in to be a running backs coach, which is awesome. But and
Eric Bieniemy,
I know, They have to get one of the two. Like if they punt to the second round is probably the only world where I'm unhappy. And at the end of the day, who the hell cares if I'm unhappy? But that's my take on it.
And then you go down, like, is Rico Dowdle good enough? Is that a good enough answer? I don't know why, if Dowdle's going to make this projection 7, why you wouldn't just go ahead and go get, get the prize horse with Breece Hall at 11. Breece Hall is outstanding. He is so good. Has been so poorly utilized in New York, the dumpster fire there.
That's the thing, too, is that, like, a lot of people, like, Jets fans were kind of over Breece Hall. Like, that's where it's good for the Chiefs if they want him, because his value isn't great. Like, he's going to be the highest paid running back on the market this year, but he could very easily get to $15 million a year.
TJ, he averaged 4.5 yards a carry last year on a team that was terrible. And everybody in the world knew they wanted to run the ball.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Like, the Chiefs would love 4.5 yards a carry, and it'd be way better. And he's a receiver. He's a great receiver. He caught 75 balls a couple of years ago. He is such a fit for them.
Yep.
And the cost on it is just like, I just, like, if you're giving me the option of Breece Hall and pick 9 for $3 million more than Jeremiah Love at pick 9, that to me is an easy answer.
I agree. We still, at one point we need to actually Google this so we can have an answer. Is free agency or the draft first?
Free agency starts first.
Okay.
Free agency I think it starts next month. It starts on March 11th. Yeah, it's pretty quick. It's coming pretty quick.
Right.
You get the biggest. The NFL free agency flies. Like,
it does. It's not baseball.
As it
Baseball
opens,
sucks.
it goes ballistic, and then like things will be settled out before.
I always forget, because it's always like the first week of March Madness when you're tied up with other things, and then it's the Chiefs just traded L'Jarius Sneed. It's like, of course they did.
It will be. We'll know. Like, we'll have our answer. So the conversations now for the next 2 weeks are this conversation. Which would you?
I'm glad we finally got an answer, since we've discussed this topic multiple
I think I've looked
times.
that up. I think I've looked that up before. But either way, let's talk college basketball when we return. Let's look ahead to the weekend.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back in, everybody, here to Sports Daily. Glad to be with you on this Friday, getting you ready for a chilly day, kind of a chilly weekend. Still February, damn it, and just needed a quick reminder. Maybe this is all the reminder we'll get, though. It is late February. If this is winter's last foray, we can handle it. Let it be. Let it be that, and not some
Beatles
obscure April snowstorm. That's right, Beatles.
Thank you.
We need to sing. We need a karaoke segment. We could do a karaoke segment.
I think that should be a new running bit of the show. Is that one of us says words that are a song title or song lyric that is popular? You have to name the band. Like at one point, I said "Let It Linger," Cranberries.
Yeah, great band.
Chime in on the comments on that. I need somebody else to call us out whenever we do that.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. We can play that game. I used to sneak in dad jokes just to see how far I could get Tommy's eyes to roll. That was a fun segment.
That was the classic. That was the classic college game with a bunch of baseball players, especially when you're traveling on the road so much in vans. Is that every time a song popped in, first person to name it had to make everybody else drink. Whenever you're not driving, obviously, but when you're sitting around, you're sitting around somewhere and song comes on, it's like Nirvana, drink.
Yeah. We can play that game. We can play that game. All right. Saturday in the Big 12. What a bummer, man. This Saturday at one point, TJ, this late in the year, Arizona, Houston, Iowa State, BYU, injuries have corrupted this amazing Big 12 season. It's a real problem, a real stupid thing that's happened. It's gonna alter a lot of things, but we do have Arizona at Houston this weekend. We do have Iowa State at BYU this weekend. Some really high quality games for us. K-State's got to go to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech. Texas Tech without JT Toppin. I mean, that line's not out yet. Some of the others are. That one's not for that reason, probably. I mean, K-State's going to have a chance here to go ham on offense without JT Toppin and try to do something crazy. I mean, look, the Driscoll era. Can they go do that? Sure, they've played better on the road all year.
Speaking of the Driscolls, I just pulled up KenPom, Driscoll Spitstols, excuse me. I just pulled up KenPom, and they've officially jumped Wichita State again. They're back to 95. They're climbing.
Yeah, Wichita State's not catching as much KenPom love because they played a close game at East Carolina. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think they went down.
It's irrelevant. The Shockers got to win a conference tournament. We know that. But yeah,
Paul Mills has turned on KenPom, by the way. Have you heard him talk about that?
No.
He used to be, when he first got here, it was a big running joke about how much that dude loved KenPom.com.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember last year, and I think it was this year as well, I asked him something about KenPom, and he's like, I'm not looking at it this year. Because the KenPom numbers don't like the way the Shockers play, and it's because they don't get assists. And Paul Mills used to love assisted basketball. And now, they've changed the way they play so much because it's changed to the Kenyon Giles assist is what they're calling it, to where it's off of his misses, the Shockers average blank points per possession. So it's rather than assists, they just get offensive rebounds like nobody else.
Yeah.
Anyways, tangent. That's basketball for you. That's some deep dive.
Yeah. It's KenPom's a great tool. I'm glad we have it. How about that? Yeah. KU's a 10.5-point favorite against Cincinnati. Are you good? Are you good? Are you good with 10.5 if Darren Peterson doesn't play? I think is how you have to look at these lines. By the way, some of these Peterson lines, speaking of betting, he keeps getting real close to his personal.
I haven't seen, and I'm not sure if it's a state of Kansas thing. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've seen it for a lot of schools and not just for KU, but I've looked at KU for kind of the reason we're talking about here. I don't see a lot of unders on the props. Do you? I don't think they've been offering them.
Well, they've been on overs.
There's been overs, but there hasn't been unders because that was as all the scandals coming out is that I bet Darren Peterson's gone under every game, but they're not offering unders. So I don't know if that's an everywhere thing or what.
I have been sprinkling on his 3-pointers made, and it's been pretty fruitful this year.
I think that's also why this story got so much play. I think his line was at 23 or something like that, 24.
I think he missed it by a half.
Yeah, I think he got
and that's not the first time that's happened either. I don't think either. So, curious.
Cincinnati 3-game win streak, by the way, and
10.5 feels too big to me. So I
smashed the UCF, beat the brakes off the Tang gang, and then narrowly got one against Utah, which whatever. But they've won 4 of their last 6 after Wes Miller basically apologized to the fans for not being good.
10.5.
It's working.
I don't know, 10.5.
Is there something to be said about that? Is it being apologetic the fix to fix playing good basketball?
No, the fix to playing good basketball is playing good basketball. Wes Miller's got chops. It's not working, but he's got chops. So Kansas should be fine, but 10.5. How about 134.5 for the over/under in the game? What does that imply? That implies a 77 to 66, 77 to 66. I think that's about right.
Something like that. I don't know.
That feels too low. Low. I'd take the over. Yeah. KU can score more than 77 points.
Can. Will they?
Against Cincinnati? I think so. Especially if Peterson plays. I mean, Cincinnati's a pretty good defense. They're like top 50 in the country since Big 12
Basically,
started. They're top 30 in the country overall. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'm not.
I guess the way to think about that is that if their offense is good, they score 75 every single time. The games that they haven't have been Texas Tech. The offense is bad. Utah. The offense was bad.
It could turn into a rock fight. Texas, yeah, it could turn into a rock
Colorado,
fight. Maybe I don't. Maybe that's. But I would just stay with
KenPom. Yeah, there you go. KenPom projects it as 73-61 KU.
So they'd take the under. They're way under then. They're way under. Well, no, I guess they're not giving Cincinnati. They're giving KU a cover there too. I'm just trying to put it at where Vegas has it. So those are two, and then you got the Shockers. Not a busy Saturday in the American. It's really not a good weekend in the American, quite frankly, outside of Wichita State and Temple. Wichita State and Temple we don't have a line on that yet, but it's implications in the standings are pretty high for that one. We haven't seen Temple. I haven't seen a second of Temple basketball this year. I've scoreboard watched them, but I haven't watched. So I don't have a lot of. I can tell you, just they're real quick, and the metrics don't like them. But they're not a very good offense, 230th in the country. They're not a very good defense, 90th in the country. So they're not a very good offense. Wichita State can be a very good defense when it wants to be. But they're, overall, they don't profile that way. But I think we know they can be. I'd say it's a game where Wichita State should smother them defensively.
KenPom has that one as 9 points. They say Temple's also lost 3 consecutive heading into this one, so it could be a big spot for the Shockers.
Could be a big spot for the Shockers. We'll see what that. I bet that line's not going to be 9 points. I don't think. On Sunday, you've got UAB Memphis, which again, Shockers need both of them to lose, so they're going to get some help there either way. FAU North Texas, you could use a North Texas win in that one. UTSA is not going to beat Tulsa on the road. So kind of watch UAB Memphis a little bit. I don't know who you want to lose worse. You'd probably rather see Memphis win that one, I guess. Beat UAB and knock them down a little bit because, again, you still play Memphis. And now Memphis may be dealing with a big injury. But that's kind of how the weekend lays out in college basketball. What's the biggest storyline in all of this?
You know what it is.
It's Darren Peterson. It's so annoying.
I made the point last night on TV. I don't know if anybody saw, but I started it out and said KU is very much in the hunt for the Big 12 championship. They won by double-digit points last night in Stillwater. And if you ask anybody in the country about the Jayhawks, the first thing you're going to talk about is the lack of playing from a person. I saw this the other day. It's so weird. Like KU put out like the Naismith Award list or whatever, and it was like a graphic, and it was like Darren Peterson and Flory Badunga in the graphic, and it's just like it doesn't even feel like those guys play on the same team because nobody talks about them in the same sentences.
And where's Melvin Council? I love Flory Badunga, but Council's.
But you know what I mean? Like in a year of KU basketball where Melvin Council is outrageous and Flory is probably an NBA prospect, and Bryson Tiller is this emerging big in the Big 12.
Did you hear Bill Self talk about Tiller, by the way? Somebody asked him about how good the Big 12 did recruiting this particular class.
Yeah. He said nobody's
talking
about
him. He's like, guys, Bryson Tiller in most years as a freshman, we wouldn't stop talking about him. Nobody even knows it. Like nobody even notices he's a freshman because of this freshman class.
It's ridiculous how good this freshman class is. But that's what I'm saying. Like KU in a year that KU is like, if Peterson wasn't on this team, and they beat the number 1 team in the country without Darren Peterson, they'd be sitting there and people wouldn't stop raving about Flory Badunga and Bryson Tiller and all this stuff. And nobody cares about it because the biggest story about the team is Darren Peterson.
I'm going to tell you, TJ, the biggest storyline is, but it isn't at the same time. And I'm guilty of this. We've talked about this week. I'm not paying enough attention to the fact that KU absolutely could win this conference. Yep. Arizona and Houston play each other. KU is 1 game behind them now.
I'll say
Iowa State has to go to BYU. We can get to a point where KU is playing, for the outright Big 12 lead next week. Yeah. It's very much on the table.
I'll even take this conversation a step further that we're talking about. KU could win the Big 12 and go to the Elite 8 And then in 10 years, when people talk about this season, they're going to say, oh, yeah, the Darren Peterson.
No, if they go to the Elite Eight, no, that
Come on.
will be a sidebar.
This they will. You know.
Who are you asking that question to? NBA junkies that don't watch college basketball?
No, I'm talking about everybody like outside of like, I don't know, everybody outside the state of Kansas. I'll say that.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Big 12 people, like even like Kansas people. Like whenever you think about 2026, you're going to think about the Darren Peterson year because it's just been the only thing people have talked about for 4 or 5 months. Exactly. Like,
I mean, they're right there in the conference. Right, they could win the dang conference, and we're still going to be talking about Peterson. That I believe for sure. Now, if they go to the Elite Eight, maybe a little different. But it's right there, man. They could be playing next week. They could be playing for the outright Big 12 lead when they play Houston on Monday. If Arizona beats Houston, if Houston beats Arizona, okay? If Houston beats Arizona, which they should, they're favored. KU, like, we're going to be having that conversation. Like, they'll have a chance with a win over Houston to be in first place.
We didn't bring this up. Yesterday, they had the media committee poll at the NCAA meetings. KU slotted at the 3 line, Oklahoma City to Chicago to Indianapolis. That is a TV person's dream.
Yeah, let's go. Drive. Actually, we got direct flights to Chicago. It might even be drive, depending. All right, we'll come back. We'll get more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning. Hail.